buckler. Stand up for my help. Talking about stand up for my help. Draw out also the spear and start the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am your salvation. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. Let them be confounded and put them to shame that seek my hurt, my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be chaffed before the wind, and let the angels of Yah chase them. I want you to see that. You can say that. Let the angels of Yah chase them. You can speak that. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of Yah persecute them. For without cause they had hid for me their net in a pit. Without a cause they had dug for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unaware, and let his net that he had hid catch himself, and to the very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in Yah. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Elohim, who is like unto you, which delivers the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoils him. False witness did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They reward me evil for good to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayers returned to me my own bosom. Think about David. David ran good to evil. He prayed for them, the ones that tried to destroy them. Verse 14. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily, as one that mourned for his mother. But in my adversity they rejoice. They gather themselves together. Yea, they are bet and jet together themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and cease not. With hypocritical markers and feasts, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Elohim, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destruction, my darling from the lions. I will give you thanks in the great congregation. I will praise you amongst much people. Let not them that are my enemies wrongfully rejoice over me. See, we can say these things. Neither let them wink with their eyes that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quite in the land. Yea, they open their mouth wide against me and said, Aha, aha, our eyes have seen it. This thou hast seen, O Yah. Keep not silence, O Yah. Be not far from me. Stir up yourself and wait to my judgment, even unto my cause, my Yah and my Elohim. Judge me, O Yah, my Yah. Elohim, judge me, O Elohim, my Yah, according to your righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their heart, so what we have, so we will have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous. Cause ye, let them say continually, let the Elohim be magnified, which have pleasure in the prosperity of his servant, and my tongue shall speak of your righteousness and of your praises all the day long. Praise Yah. Again, it's another great song. I read that because, man, David was in affliction. David was persecuted. You know what I'm saying? People around him. Same thing now. What's going on? Ask Yah to send his angels. You know, and then what they prepare for you, ask Yah, let it be confusing to them. All right, I say that. 2 Kings chapter 6. A couple more scriptures. 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 15. Second Kings, verse 15, chapter 6, verse 15. And when a certain man of Yah was risen early, we're talking about Elisha and his servant, all right? Yah was risen early and gone forth. Behold, a host compassed the city, an army compassed the city, both his horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Elohim, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. And Elohim opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses, chariots of fire round about Elisha. Chariots of fire, we're talking about angels. He asked Yah, open the young man's eyes. And when they came down to him, Elijah prayed unto the Lord, and it said, Smite the people, and I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. And I start right there. All right. Sometimes we ask Yah to open our eyes. Some things that we don't see. You know, the young man said, there's more. You know what I'm saying? He was compassed. He was in fear, for the armies compassed him. And Elisha says, there's more with us than with them. And he asked Yah to open their eyes, to open the young man's eyes. When you see that, you see the chariot of fire around him. And that's what Yah has around us, his children. He has angels around us. And we got to keep that in mind. We ask Yah to give us the 2/3. 1/3 is Satan angels, that's 2/3 of Yah angels. We ask Yah to give us the 2/3 around us to protect us. There's more, I like that, there's more with us than with them. Praise Yah. All right. Last scripture, 2 Chronicles chapter 20. 2 Chronicles. We'll talk about Jehoshaphat. All right? Verse 3. All right. And Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to speak to Yah. All right? Okay, I'm going to go verse 2. Let's go read the whole chapter. Verse 1. And it came to pass after this also that the children of Moab, the children of the Ammon, and with them other beside the Ammonites, came against Jehoshaphat to battle. Then there came some that told Jehoshaphat, saying, There come a great multitude against you from beyond the sea on the side of Syria. And behold, they be in Hazar-Azantamar, which is in Gadar. And Jehoshaphat feared and set himself to seek Elohim and proclaim a fast throughout all Judea. He commanded a fast, verse 4. And Judea gathered themselves together to ask help of Elohim. Even out of all the city of Judea, they came to seek Elohim. And Jehoshaphat stood in the congregation in Judea and Jerusalem, in the house of Elohim before the new court, and said, O Yah, our Father, are not Yah in heaven, and rulest not thou over all the kingdoms of the heathen? And in your hand is there not power and might, so that none is able to withstand you? Are not our Yah, who did drive out the inhabitants of the land before your people, Yesharel, and give us it to the seed of Abraham, your friend, forever? And they dwelt therein, and have built them a sanctuary therein for your name's saying, if when evil come upon us as a sword, judgment, or pestilence, or famine, we stand before this house, and the present, for your name is in this house, and cry unto you in our afflictions, then you will hear and help. And now, behold, the children of Ammon and Moab and the Mount Seir, whom thou wouldest not let Israel invade, when they came out of the land of Mizraim, but they turned from them and destroyed them not. Behold, I say how they reward us to come to cast us out of this your possession, which thou hast given us to inherit. O our Yah, wilt thou not judge them? For we have no might against this great company that come against us. Neither know comes against us, neither know we what to do, but our eyes are upon you. And all you do is stood before Elohim with their little ones, their wives, and their children. I want to get that, verse 13. And then upon Jahaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jael, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite, the son of Asa, came the spirit of Yah in the midst of the congregation, and he said, Hearken ye all, Judea, ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, Yah, king of Jehoshaphat. Thou said Elohim unto you, Be not afraid nor dismayed by the reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but of Yah. Tomorrow you go down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Zah, and you shall find them at the end of the brook, before the wilderness of Jerel. And you shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourself, stand ye still, and see the salvation of Elohim with you. O Yaakov, O Judah and Jerusalem, fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for Elohim will be with you. And Jehoshaphat bowed his head with his face to the ground, and all Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before Elohim, worshiping Yah. And the Levites and all the children of the Korites and the children of the Korites stood up to praise Elohim Yah for Yeshua with a loud voice on high. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And they went forth. Jehoshaphat stood and said, Hear me, O Judah, ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in Yah. Ye believe in Elohim your Yah, so shall ye be established. Believe his prophets, so shall ye prosper. And when he had consulted with the people, he appointed singers unto Elohim, and that should praise and beautify the holiness as they went out before the army. And they say, Praise Elohim, for his mercy endureth forever. And when they began to sing and praise, Elohim set an ambush against the children of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, which were come against Judah, and they were smitten. For the children of Ammon and Moab stood up against the inhabitants of Mount Seir, utterly slain and destroyed them. And when they had made an end of the inhabitants of Syria, every one helped to destroy another. And when Judah came towards the watchtower in the wilderness, they looked into the multitude, and behold, there were dead bodies fallen to the earth, and none escaped. And when Jehoshaphat and his people came to take away the spoil of them, they found among them in abundance both riches with the dead bodies, precious jewels, which they stripped off for themselves more than they could carry away. And they were 3 days in gathering of spoil, and very such much spoil. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. I'll start right there. I read this again just to see what Yaakov did for his people. Yaakov did the same thing he did there, he will do right now. But look how he did it. Look how Jehoshaphat did. He prayed and fasted when this great army came. He was in fear. He prayed. Then he had Judah pray. The children and little ones, they came. They all fasted and prayed. Then the prophet spoke. Then when the prophet spoke, they praised Yah. Then they praised Yah into battle. And Yah fought for them. He said, this battle is not yours, it's of Yah. I'm trying to tell you, this coronavirus is not ours. It's Yah's. Yah will fight this battle. Yah will fight this battle. We ain't going to fight it. Because it's wicked man's devices. He said, Jehoshaphat said that Moab and Ammon came. They said it came through here to take us out of the land when he done gave us. He said that he's going to fight for us. And that's what Yaakov did. He fought for them. He fought for the children. What Yaakov going to do for us? He's going to fight for us. We got to believe and trust in him. We got to sing praise to him. When time comes like that, we need to pray to him. Even Jehoshaphat came back and said the same thing what Solomon said. The prayer of Solomon. You said, we pray to this house where your name is, and we are afflicted and persecuted trouble, that you will fight for us. We can say the same thing in the name of Yeshua Mashiach, in the name of Yah. Call out the name of Yeshua in this time. Praise Yah. Call out the name of Yeshua in this time. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yah. Thank y'all again for his word. I'm glad I got this out. This is what y'all has given me in this time, in this coronavirus time, these last day times. I want to thank y'all. So we're going to move on to the next order of service. Praise Yah. The next order of service on offerings to Yahuwah, from offerings to Yahuwah, Yahuwah's supper, from Yahuwah's supper. We're going to take the last today's church, and for today's church, blow the shofar and bless Yahuwah's people. Let's give our offerings before Yah. Offerings before Yahuwah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you may put some tape on that thing. That's all right, yo. Praise Yah. Experience, yo. Make sure you get some glue that thing. Yeah.
Because I'm willing it is. Might catch a few other 20 with it.
I hear you. Praise Yah.
I'm trying to hand 60.
Yeah, she'll get on me. Lady at the bank. She said, "What is this?" Yeah. Praise Yah. All right, we can go on with the service. Praise Yah. Let's get to Yahuwah's Supper. Praise Yah. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's go to Romans chapter 5. Take the supper. Remember what Yahuwah did for us. That's why we take the supper. I'll keep it in mind. Romans chapter 5. Remember what Yahuwah has done for us. Praise Yah. On my strength today. Romans chapter 5 verse 8. But Yah commended his love towards us, and that while we were yet sinners, Mashiach died for us. Much more than being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. For when we were enemies, we were reconciled to Yah by the death of his son. Much more being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. And not only so, but we also joy in Yah through our Elohim Yeshua Mashiach. Elohim Yeshua Mashiach, by whom we have now received atonement. And that's what we're talking about. Through Yeshua Mashiach, we received the atonement of salvation. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Praise Yah. Verse 16. The cup of blessing will be blessed, which is not the communion of the body, the blood of the Mashiach, The bread which we break is not the communion of the body of the Mashiach, for we being made are one bread, one body. We are all part of that one bread. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 23. For I received of Elohim that which also delivered unto you, that Elohim Yeshua Mashiach, same night which we were betrayed, took bread, and we have given thanks. He break it. He said, take, eat it, eat the bread. This is my body which is broken for you, this through remembrance of me. After the same manner, also he took the cup, when he had supped, saying, this cup is a new testament in my blood for remission of sins. Drink it. This do ye as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you just show us Yahuwah's death until he comes. In the name of Yeshua Mashiach. In the name of Yeshua Mashiach. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Glory, hallelujah. Today's church, Revelation chapter 3, verse 4, Revelation chapter 3, verse 14, excuse me. Praise Yah. Today's church, Laodicean church. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodicean write these things, says the Amen, the faithful and the true witness, beginning of the creation of Yah. I know your works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out my mouth. Because you say that I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. I cause you to buy me gold tried in fire, that you mayest be rich, white raiment, that you mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint your eyes with eye say, that you may see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chastise. Be zealous therefore and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him and he with me. Praise God. All right. To him that overcomes, will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also come and sit down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the church. He that overcome. That's one thing we're working over here. Can overcome these things going on right now in America. Will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I overcame and sat down with my Father in his throne, even as he overcame. We already know what Yeshua overcame. He overcame the death. You know, he overcame the things in the earth. He overcame the cup. You know, said the cup that he asked to pass. He said, nonetheless, none of my will but thy will be done. And Yeshua drank the cup. We need to drink our cup. You know what I'm saying? We need to take up the cross and follow him. To him that overcome will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I overcame and sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church. Praise y'all. All right. Again, I thank everybody for being in the house of Yah in this hour. I thank you for another Sabbath day. You understand? I love Sabbath. And the Sabbath bless me. Every Sabbath just bless me. There's something about the Sabbath day. You know, it's better than any other day of the week. I'm getting to know that. Every time I don't feel like coming here, be here, but I make myself be here, and I love it. Because when I get done with the Sabbath, I have peace. Let us stand going so far. Praise God. He that's unjust, let him be unjust still. He that's filthy, let him be filthy still. He that's righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that's holy, let him be holy still. Behold, I come quickly. My reward is with me. And him that according to his work, may Yaakov bless thee and keep thee. May Yaakov make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you. May Yaakov lift his countenance upon you, give you peace and show Mashiach's name. May Yaakov make you ride on a high place of earth and feed your heritage of cold, with the heritage of Joseph cold, the heritage of Abraham. For the mouth of Yah spoken, for the mouth of Yah spoken, in Yeshua Mashiach's name. Amen, amen. Shalom, shalom.